I have come across some very important information that I just feel really compelled to share with you right after this. Yeah, listen, guys. Just perusing my news feed today, just looking at different articles and stories, and one popped up that I felt that you really need to know about because it will impact our lives tremendously regarding things we can't say anymore, according to woke culture, of course. So let's get into it. So like I said, I came across this article. Somebody named Elliot Peters wrote an article called "Woke Culture Wants to Erase." What does this say? I can't see. Erase these phrases and words. I don't even know if that's the name of the article now. Might be just my notes. Who cares? Anyhow, but I'm going to share all of these words and phrases with you so that you know not to say them anymore because we're not allowed, because it's wrong. So the first one, this actually might be the only one that I think I agree with this one, because it's kind of a dumb one. Like, I don't even know where that started up or who started that or why, but it is a dumb one. He's got me on one. Okay. First one, it is called Indian giver. Indian giver. Yeah. I don't even like that one either. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know. Have I ever said that? Maybe as a kid, because it was maybe, a phrase that we said when we were kids. Maybe don't be an Indian giver. That means that the meaning of it is if you give something to somebody and then you take it back. So I don't really understand. Maybe you do better than I do. And you can put it in the comments if you want the explanation, but that's a dumb one. I don't think there's no reason to be saying that anyhow. It's like, but the other one, what's the other one? Sitting, remember when we were kids, when you cross your legs, you sit like a little pretzel, can't see my arms. Can you sit like a little pretzel? They used to call that sitting Indian style. I don't think you can say, he didn't put that on there, but you can't say that anymore either. I'm pretty sure. So just so you know. So anyhow, that one's not a big deal. There's some on here that I definitely, if I could raise my eyebrow, I would raise my eyebrow at it. What's the next one? Next one is addict. You can't say addict anymore because it's offensive to addicts. So I guess what you're supposed to say now is people with addiction. That is apparently more compassionate, more caring, and more kind than to call somebody an addict. Okay? I'm just listening. I'm just reading them. I'm just telling you what they say. Next up, another stupid one. No, it's not loser. I know that's the L for loser. But we're not supposed to call people lame anymore. Now, listen, I'm a product of the 80s, and I don't even know if that's where that started up, but you call somebody lame. You're like, you're so lame. You ever use that one? Well, apparently that's a no. Don't do it. Don't say it, because there are people in the world who are lame. I don't know why I just laughed. Yes, I do, because it's kind of funny. It's not funny that people are lame. And by lame, meaning like, apparently it was a phrase used for people who had like a arm that didn't work, or some limb on their body that didn't work. They would call that like a lame arm. I'm being so politically incorrect, aren't I? So apparently that's offensive to call somebody lame. Don't do it anymore, according to woke culture. Next on the list, is that the wrong picture? I'm looking at my pictures I have here. Oh, this is the one I want. It's backwards. So here's the picture, because I gotta have a picture for everything. We're not supposed to say man up. Man up already. We just man up. That's what we say. Man up. Stop being such a word or something you can think of to say in that blank. Man up. So apparently we can't say man up because, women are just as manly as men. No, that's probably not where he was going with that. But anyhow, next up, another one I think is kind of silly. You know, let's face it, all of them are silly. All of them are silly, oversensitive ridiculousness. But here's another one. Policeman. Don't say policeman anymore because there are police women. And we have to be more gender considerate here. So if you call a policewoman a policeman, apparently that might offend them. And I'm going to be honest with you. I pretty much, for the most part, I'm pretty sure they don't care. They don't care. Whatever. So use, according to the word police, word police, call them police officers until they decide there's something offensive about that. In which there, of course, for certain people in our culture, it's offensive. It's triggering to even talk about police. So I don't know what they're going to want us to call them next. But right now, you should be saying police officer instead of policeman. Okay, whatever. Next up, we are not supposed to say hysterical. You can't call somebody hysterical. You can't say that something is hysterical. It is offensive because once upon a time, women were put in like asylums, and their diagnosis was hysteria. So we might offend women from like the 1800s or early 1920s or something, whenever that happened. I don't know when that happened. I don't feel like going through history. If you want to look it up, look it up. You can tell everybody in the comments. Contribute to the show already, will you? Anyhow, so don't say hysterical. Don't do it because a hysterical person might not like it. Next up, what is next? Let's see. What's this guy? I don't even know what this one is. I think I jumped around. What is this? Let me see what it is. Oh, don't say real man or real woman. Because, of course, that was supposed to be like a depiction of like a traditional real man, doing something chivalrous, whatever. I don't know. That was just the closest thing I can come up with for a picture. So yeah, I guess when you say real man or real woman, you're offending people who identify as something that they're not, and that hurts their feelings. I don't know what that one is. What does that one look like to you? Oh, I guess that's the one for crazy. So right up there with hysterical. We should not be calling people crazy. Don't call them crazy or insane. Again, you see the theme here? It's offensive and triggering to people who are crazy and insane, I guess. By the way, this isn't the phrasing or the explanations that the author of that article came up with. These are mine, as if you couldn't tell, as if it isn't obvious. So yes, what's next? This one, grandfathered. We're not supposed to say that something or someone or something is grandfathered in, because apparently it has connotations to slavery, and it's offensive to them, something to do with racial injustice in the post-Civil War. So we don't want to offend them back then, now, at this time in history, because it would offend them from way back, I guess. Yeah. Listen, I'm just relaying them so that you know better. And once we know better, we can do better, right? All right, what's next? What's next? Here's one you've probably heard. I've heard this one a few times now. I've heard some of these more than once, but stop saying master bedroom. Because the word master, again, we're very he's very thematic with, or I guess I shouldn't assume that Elliot is a he. So I've probably offended him or her, or they, or them, they, them, their, thus, I don't know. Anyhow, so yeah, don't say master bedroom, because it's triggering to anyone who feels that that's a reference to slavery and there being a master and a slave and all that stuff. So yes, I don't know. What do they want to rename it to? I think they said, I don't know, rename the master bedroom to the main bedroom or something. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, what's next? Here we go. Sticking with the theme of racial injustice and insensitivity, we cannot say that we are colorblind. Don't say that you're colorblind, meaning, I mean, if you're literally colorblind, you can't see colors, you can still say that you're colorblind. That's okay. But you can't say that you're colorblind when discussing race. Now, I will say, I'll be honest, I understand that one. I never actually agreed with that statement, with that sentiment, because again, I agree with this guy, and I've said this before, so it's not really exclusively his, hers, theirs words, that I see people's color. I see their gender. I see their color. And I think that's a good thing because we're all different and our skin is, beautiful, whatever shade or tone it is. So saying that you're colorblind is kind of silly. If somebody said that to me, said, if a person of another color, skin color, looked at me and said, "Oh, I like you no matter what, I'm colorblind," I'm not going to take offense. Sure, cool. But that's because I'm not a pansy ass wimp and I don't get hurt by words. Anyhow, what's next? Let's see. What else do we have here? I don't even know what this is. Oh yeah, of course I do. We are not supposed to say illegal aliens anymore. We already know this. We've been hearing them use the term undocumented migrants for a while. And they've been trying to make it stick. They want that to be the thing. And I have always known the term to be illegal aliens. Illegal because they've entered the country illegally, and aliens not because we think they came from outer space, but because an alien is a foreigner, a foreign person in not their land. That's an alien, not from their place, right? Very simple. It's not it's nothing to be misconstrued there. It is a very literal, actual, accurate statement that we're not allowed to say anymore because it will hurt somebody's feelings to be called what they exactly are. So don't call somebody what they actually are anymore. Okay? Come on, guys. Be sensitive. What do we have next? Okay. The word mankind is insensitive. I mean, I'm literally exhausted from these. I'm just exhausted from them. I don't even know how I'm going to carry on. How many more do I have? Oh, good. We only have like 2 more. All right. So there's only 2 more after this one. Stop saying humankind. No, I'm sorry. They got me. Stop saying mankind. Say humankind until that's offensive. And we'll have to call it some other kind, like person kind or being kind. Kind being. I don't know. But there you have it. What is this one? I thought I did that one already. Didn't I do this one already? I guess that's the crazy one. What was the one Oh, I know. So I'm going to go back to one. Hang on. We'll do this one. Then I'm going to go back to one because I see where I messed up here. Okay. So, this is the one that I wanted to use when we don't say crazy or insane anymore. That made more sense. The other one didn't really make sense, but I couldn't find where I was in my little thing there. So let me go back to this one here. Okay. Is supposed to be, hey guys. We're not supposed to say, hey guys anymore. Because it's not gender sensitive. We have to be considerate to our gender fluid persons, humankinds in the world, and not say, hey guys anymore, which is especially funny to me actually, because listen, I am 100% female. I have no gender identity confusion. I know my biology, like all of those things. However, for some silly reason, I've always found it just funny to refer to myself as that guy. Like I always say, yeah, I'm that guy. whatever the case is. It's usually something self-deprecating. I'm just busting my own chops about something, and I say, "Yep, I'm that guy." I know that I'm not a guy. I know that I'm not a male. I haven't offended myself by calling myself a guy. I haven't confused myself by calling myself a guy either. It's just a silly phrase, a silly thing to say, and apparently, I'm supposed to apologize to anyone who might have their feelings hurt by that. So yeah, so anyhow, there's your list. I don't even know how many there were. I think there was like maybe 14 on the list. I don't feel like counting them. But that's what I had. I think he had 18 technically on his list, and I couldn't even. I just couldn't even. I just gave up after a while. I got pretty far though. I mean, 14 is that's impressive. That's a lot of things. So yeah, so more importantly, to close out this batch of absurdity, is to tell you that you can learn more all about these wokeisms and the manipulation and use of phrases and words throughout history, and how they're used to basically censor and control essentially speech, and all of those things, and just the whole like history of that, and the interesting you know causes behind it, methodology, and how they've done it, and all that stuff. Anyhow, you can learn about that in one of what I think is, and this is not like a paid thing. Like Michael Knowles is not paying me to say this. Nothing. This is my own free will. Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire wrote a book called Speechless, and he goes into all of this and he explains it so beautifully. And I've talked about his book many times because I think the information in there is like really important to understand the how and why, the real why of doing this, of changing the meanings of words that you have known your whole life, essentially, and reconstruing them and suddenly making them bad. It's a great book. I will put the link in my in the notes there, and it will be affiliate link, just so you know. So I might get a little cha-ching from that if you should buy it or download it or whatever. Just telling you, making sure it's clear. And yeah, so I hope that really changed your life for the better to have learned those words and phrases you're no longer allowed to say according to woke culture. You're welcome. Bye.